The next thing is if we want a starter database to be created along with the software installation. This is optional. We could just install the software and create the database later manually, or we could ask the installer itself to create the starter database for us. Let us create the starter database also. Since we want the starter database to be created, we need to give certain values for the name of the database that needs to be created. Now the global database name is the name which we intend to keep for our database. Let me name it as Oracle 10G because I am installing the 10G version of Oracle database. Next, we have to give the password for special users like sys, system, sysman and dbsnmp. Towards the end of the installation, we will have a password management option where we could give individual different password for each of these users. To begin with, we are giving a single password for all sys users here. Again, there should be some rules that needs to be followed when we give a password for the sys user. Very common words like manager or change and install should not be given as a password for these users. So we have to give some other unique password for all these users here, which of course, as I told you earlier, we could change towards the end of the installation and assign different password for each of these user accounts. So these values we have given. Let us proceed with the installation. Okay, now since this is the first time we are installing Oracle database on this computer, we have to give the directory which will hold the inventory of Oracle. Earlier in our pre-installation class, we have created a base directory of Oracle called Mount APP Oracle. All directories related to Oracle would be subdirectories of this Oracle base directory. That is the recommended one. So we could create a subdirectory called Ora Inventory under the Oracle base directory. Or we could change by browsing and we could give any specific directory in our operating system. But as I said earlier, it is better to follow the recommended path suggested by Oracle. So we would have this Ora Inventory directory as the subdirectory of the Oracle base that we created. Same way, we have to give the operating system group which will own this inventory. Earlier we have created a group called oinstall which will be the owner of the Oracle inventory. So we could take these two default values here and proceed with our installation. Okay, now before the actual installation begins, there would be some product specific checks that are performed by the Oracle installer itself. Here, if we get any errors, we should not proceed with the installation. We should go ahead and look at the errors, fix it, and then come with the installation. What we get here is 3 warnings that are displayed. Let us go ahead and check what are those warnings. Some warnings are with specific to the kernel parameters. Say for example, SEMOPM has to be 100 is the recommended value of Oracle. What is found in our operating system is 32. Now these are all optional parameters. It is not a hard and fast rule that this parameter should be exactly the same as the one that is suggested by Oracle. So depending on our operating system, we could have the desired value that will suit or fit our operating system. So we get 3 warnings here. One on the available swap space in our operating system. The second is the physical memory that is required, and third is the kernel parameters. So these 3 are optional. So we could go ahead with the installation. If at all any error occurs here, then we should first fix the error before we proceed with the installation. Now let me go ahead and continue with the installation. This is just a warning. Since we had some warnings displayed, it is just a double check whether we want to proceed with the installation. Let me click yes and proceed. Now this is the summary of the various database settings that will be installed. The new installation that is going to take place, a big list of all the new products is listed here. How much space would it require, and the directory structure that will be taken. So this is just a confirmation for the database administrator. On clicking install, we would actually begin with the installation. So there are a set of steps that are followed. First, the installation happens of the various packages. Then the link is done. Then the setup is performed, and finally the configuration steps are followed. So first, now the packages are getting installed. Now the log of the entire installation, the detailed step of what is happening, is available in this particular directory. Under the Aura inventory directory, there is a directory called logs, which has the file that gives us the detailed steps on what is currently happening. Let me open the log for you to show what is getting installed now. Let me just show you the last 10 lines. So some jars are getting copied. So we could now and then visit this log to get an idea of what is actually happening in the installation. So the install is successful. The linking is started. Let us go just visit the log to see the status there. So the information on what particular component is getting installed has been displayed here. So this will give us a very good idea of what is currently happening during the installation. So the linking is happening now, which will be followed by the setup. If at all any error happens during the course of the installation, this log would be the first place the administrator should look at to get the detailed message on what failed and the cause of the failure. So during the course of the installation, we could just monitor and look at the log file to get an exhaustive idea. Now the link part is over. The various setup is happening, which will be followed by the configuration. The setup is also successful. Now as part of the configuration, two configuration assistants would be invoked, the net configuration assistant and the database configuration assistant. So the net configuration assistant is started, which is succeeded. There is a separate log that is available for this database configuration assistant. This database configuration assistant is the one which will create the starter database for us, which we wanted during the initial installation, the option that we specified. So it will create a starter database with the default values. So the files would be copied first, and then the Oracle instance would be created and started. The various background process will be started as part of the Oracle instance, and then the creation would be completed. So the log files for this database creation alone is available from the directory that is specified here. Let me open the log file for you and show to you what is happening now. Now the directory for the database configuration assistant has a number of logs. There is a log for clone database creation, and also for all the operations that were performed as part of the installation. We could open any log at any time to view the contents of the log. Let us view the contents of the clone database log that is here.